Is your demanding work lifestyle in need of fire-resistant clothing that can keep up? Well, L4FR clothing should be your go-to for quality, affordability, safety, and style. L4FR was founded by a third-generation oil field worker who is also a veteran. Thus, this company has a deep appreciation for reliability and longevity, all while we provide first-rate customer service. Our durable apparel will serve you well for many years to come, whether you're working on a pipeline, a lineman climbing utility poles, or in any other environment requiring fire-resistant apparel. L4FR has you covered. Our apparel is tough enough to resist hazardous conditions while still providing high comfort and style. L4FR provides clothing options to ensure your safety and comfort, whether you're on the job or not. To view our complete inventory of flame-resistant garments, please visit our online store at l4frclothing.com or give us a call at 817-757-4935. Si habla español.
Struggling with mobility, chronic pain, work, or sports injury? At Azalea Orthopedics, our team of highly trained physicians specialize in complete orthopedic care, pain management, sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation. If you've sustained a bone or joint injury, have mobility or movement problems, struggle with pain, contact Azalea Orthopedics. We're conveniently located across East Texas, serving 18 counties. When visiting your doctor, urgent care, or hospital, you have a choice. Demand Azalea. At Azalea Orthopedics, your health is our priority.
Welcome, everyone, to the final weekly wrap-up show of the 2023 year. It's your boy, Brett Swinney here. Alongside of me tonight, it's a small crowd. It's going to be me and the man, Corey Marshall. Corey, how's it going, man?
All right.
Man, it's just got some Vincent's got some baby thing going on. No excuse for him not to be here, right? I mean, he just had another kid this week, so congratulations to Vincent Johnson and his wife for the birth of their new baby girl on Monday. So shout out to the Johnson family. Everything's going well. I got some pictures of the little girl. Seems like already got Vince's other finger. He's got two fingers. He's got two girls. They're both wrapped around different fingers. So he's going to be pulled in two different directions. I have a feeling, Corey.
And handling both ends there, so sure.
I kind of like having the overlay with us tonight since it's just me and you there. We got big jiggly water balloons. I believe that's my man Derek. Yep, it is the last time this year. Can't believe the season's gone just like that. I mean, it's gone fast. Yes, congrats, Vince. Corey, we can talk since this is the last show. Kind of talk about how the pick'em contest went. We had the 4 games this week. East Texas went 3-1, and so did I. I went 3-1 this week. I assume since you don't pick any against East Texas that you did the same.
Yeah, 3-1. Unfortunately, 3-1 over 1-3 today.
Well, nobody got all 4 games correct. The 3-1 was was the winner. So you tied for first this week, Corey. You, and let's see, 10 others. We had 12 people. They got 3 out of 4 games. So a nice way to end it in the season. Overall, though, man, our man, almost from the very beginning, our man Jason Shivers, our 2023 Pick'em champ for NETSN Pick'em contest. I've got your belt here as well. And hey, we got our man that called the Timpson game to give us some good insight. We've got our man Larry Pierce joining us. Larry, welcome, sir.
What's up, fellas? Here, hang on a second. Let me turn on this
Hello.
TV. I'm just now trying to figure out how this thing works, but we're good, I think.
No, you're good. We were just talking about the Pick'em contest and how did you do this week? Were you 3-1 like us?
No, I think I went 2-2 because I think there was one I picked. I think I took Franklin instead of Malakoff.
Oh,
that was a different one right there. I went with Franklin because all the points they were scoring, and and I really like Malakoff, but I just thought it'd be Franklin. But it's all good. Malakoff deserved it, man. From I understand that was their first championship. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Well, and Derek, we picked all 12 games on our show for the Beast from These show just for fun, but kind of the reason why we did that because we pick East Texas games on the Pick'em, and so to add all those other games in, it kind of makes it for those of us that are just following East Texas, it doesn't really make it all that fair. So we that's why we did that. So but yeah, I did beat Shivers. I gained 1 on him, but overall, let's see overall how everything shook out there. Larry, I think I kept my lead on you. I think I stayed ahead of you.
Yeah, I think you did. I think there was a couple of them in there that I tried to get because whenever we were in Garrison together, we were tied, and we went. I went a couple of different ways just to see. I had some good ideas, but I think you got the right picks. I didn't.
When you're the Pick'em champ for NETSN, you have to really work hard and defend the belt. And I don't see anybody in the NETSN crew ahead of me, so I feel like I did it. I did a pretty good job there. So I was actually tied for second with my brother. So he actually he was ahead of me, and I chased him down and tied him. So I was happy with that. I don't have to hear from him. He just tied me, and then of course our man Jason Shivers was in first at 117. Shout out to him. Like I said, we were just showing him he gets our yearly belt here. We're looking for a sponsor for next year so we can get a little bit bigger one.
Right.
But
I think I ended up overall. I think I ended up in 5th.
Yeah, you're in 5th place. 112. Not bad.
I'll take that for my first year doing it. I think I'll take that. Yeah, definitely.
Let's see. You're ahead of Derek. Derek's in here with us tonight. Derek's at 103. He's down there. Our man KO's at 107. So he's down below you. Yeah, you were ahead of everybody else.
I think it was you, then me, and then everybody else.
Yeah.
We need to get Shires and Watlinson to learn how to get on here and pick these things out too.
Yeah, well, surely they can. It's an easy app to navigate, so surely they can get on there and do that. As we have Corey back with us. Corey,
I know Shires can. I'm a little worried about Watlinson.
Yeah, well, it's just we just gotta maybe hold his hand a little bit. Maybe we can get him to do it. But
write it down for him.
Yeah. So, but shout out to our man Jason Shivers. I'm going to be reaching out to you, getting your mailing address, and I'll get this in the mail to you, and so you can be our 2023 Pick'em champ. So we are looking for a sponsor for the show next year. So if we get a sponsor, we'll upgrade the belts a little bit, maybe a little bit bigger size. The Pick'em champ one is kind of like it's part of me. I got a reputation to uphold here as the Pick'em champ of NETSN. So it's pretty big pressure. I think this is year 3 in a row. So it's tough.
Yeah, I was definitely looking to come after it, but I did. We gave it a shot. That's for sure.
Yeah. Well, it was a tough season. It was all. I'm gonna blame.
Did you say it was rigged? I think so.
It's all rigged.
I'm gonna blame.
I might be with you on that, man.
I'm blaming my struggles. The Pine Tree Nacogdoches game. Those teams gave me troubles all year. They were just up and down, and you think they were doing well, and you pick them, and they just completely lay an egg. So I don't know. I think I'm blaming on Corey. Corey was selling all those teams, and then he didn't know when they were going to do well. And Corey, next year, if you can give me some insight on when they're going to lay eggs, so I can avoid them.
Well, I was letting you know, but hey, I'm going with sure thing. I was like, hey, listen, pick them right now. I'm telling you, they're gonna win. And they won. And that's a separator, but it's okay.
All right. Well, let's talk about some of the games. We're going to start in order. We'll start with the East Texas games, then we'll go over the kind of the way the other games went on for the state championships. But we're going to open with a game, Larry, you were at. Timpson and Toller. I was actually kind of following along. I was at a wrestling event with Jeremy and Brandon, and man, tell us about that game. I mean, Timpson just all over Toller, 49-7. I mean, tell us off. This is your first state championship game to call, you guys, right?
Yeah. It was the first.
Tell us about the experience.
It was one of the coolest things ever. I mean, and to have it in, originally from Texas, been in Kansas and Oklahoma for the last 25 years or so, and then moved back here about 3 years ago, get back home. But to come home and get to call football in Texas, and then to get to call a state championship game, especially at AT&T Stadium, I think I was just way overexcited. I had so much fun. It was so cool. And the opportunity was just, one of the greatest things I could ever experience. I mean, I got to go to World Series Game 2 with my son against the Phillies a couple years ago, big Astros fans. And I thought that was great. But this ranks right up there with one of the greatest things I ever got a chance to do.
Tell us about the radio box suite. I mean, I was in there, but for those that just to imagine, like, we've been to a lot of press boxes this year, a lot of nice ones through the playoff run, but that one was just different.
Yeah, that was one of the nice ones there. There's so much cool technology and stuff in there that you get to see and everything. But yeah, it was the vantage point was great. You really got to see everything with the video board up there too. It was really a nice place, and then the food area out back. And I was not really a part of the halftime show, so I got to go exploring and check out a few of the other places there, the instant replay booths and all that other stuff. And so it was really, really cool and very interesting that they let us kind of check some things out. And people were really nice, and they helped us get in there. And yeah, it was really cool. And the whole experience of getting to go and being there was like I said, sometimes a lot of people, I know somebody that has gone over 50 years and never called a championship game of any kind. And so, for the opportunity to do it, to be there, to play the game, but then have the chance to call it and get to be a little bit more of a homer, because we've been calling it NFHS. You got to kind of be a little neutral. This time we got to be a Timpson fan, and it made it even better.
When you got to follow Timpson, you were pretty much called almost every playoff game.
Everyone from the beginning. Right?
Yeah. So, I mean, you got to kind of see the whole perspective on the playoffs, which is a cool thing. The numbers. Tell me about when you guys saw how many people were actually watching your audio stream. Were you a little bit blown away by that?
I was. I mean, I knew we were going to have a lot, and a lot of people were looking for the video stuff too. But I mean, to see the numbers that were checking us out, and then knowing we had it on the radio, doing a little bit of analytics look on what we have on our live stream there, we still had a good over 500 on the live stream on our radio station we put it on too. So it was really cool. And then to see the numbers keep climbing even afterwards was phenomenal. I think you guys' game was like over 8,000. That's just crazy great how awesome that was.
Yeah, it just shows that the fans are starting to find us and starting to know what NETSN is, and it's awesome. Well, tell us a little bit about the game now that we've kind of got that part out of the way. How did the game go? Kind of, give us kind of an overview of how it went.
Well, it went really well. I kind of had a feeling that, this was Timpson's year, the way I've just been watching them all year long. And then just listening to like a few of the other places that would saying that, they had told her to win. But it's like I was telling everybody, I said, everybody that Timpson faced, everybody was a running team, and Timpson took them down. And I'll tell you what, if J.J. Garner was there, it wouldn't even have been even a close game for them to go. But it was just an awesome game. I mean, Timpson just took it over from the beginning. They shut down the running game. And I knew that their passing game was definitely going to be a big advantage over their secondary of the Toller Rattlers. And I knew the Rattlers, they had a little bit of a passing game, but it wasn't very good. And I knew that the secondary, that whole 11 for defensive side for Timpson is just, phenomenal. I mean, anywhere you look, and their secondary just shuts down everybody. So I didn't think that they were going to have a passing game, and they didn't. And once they were made them one dimensional, and those guys up front started hitting those front seven guys on the defensive side, they were shutting down that running game, and it was just all Timpson after there. And then the pass play to Decorian Johnson for 93 yards, and then the run right after that on the next drive for 97 by Bussey, one of the most beautiful runs I've ever seen. And people have asked me all through this and everything, and if I want to sum it up in 2 words, it was just beautiful football. Some of the most beautiful football I saw for 7 weeks, and then to come down with a championship like that, it was perfect ending to what they've accomplished there.
Yeah, I thought Bussey just made it look really easy.
Yeah,
a couple of times he would just make a pass, his man catches it, goes in for the score, and he just walks off the field like nothing to it. Like
that's what I meant to do.
It was so easy. Like
Right.
there were some games, even like the Timpson game, Larry, we called that one together, and he did that a few times, but it was a lot harder. Like he had to carry a lot more load. He ran a lot more. I mean, he had 150 yards rushing or something along those lines, but it was almost all on that one run. I mean, he didn't really have to run the ball very much. He pretty much kind of distributed the ball around to his playmakers, and just made it look really easy picking apart the Tulare defense.
Yeah, and that's really what it's been. I mean, there's been a couple of times that I've seen him where his other teammates out there, not saying that they weren't, but I mean, there's a couple of times where Terry's like, I got to take over if we're going to win this game. And you saw him do that. But then in this game against Tulare, he was able to use all of his weapons. And you were able to see every single one of those weapons. And that was what made it so great. He made it a team win. It wasn't, it was about Terry, but he made it a team win. That's what made it so good. It was everybody got the chance to be a part of it.
Corey, what do you think about this one?
Who's that? I don't recall. I remember watching the game. Honestly, it was a blur to me after a while. I mean, Timpson did what they were supposed to do. I mean, Terry Buss is the man. And I'm glad they want to stay tight. I'm glad they finished at 15-0. Everything they went through throughout the year, losing guys, I didn't think they would have enough guys, enough star power to win the game. But 15-0, man, you got to respect it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Or 16-0, I'm sorry.
Yep. Yeah, and then like I said too, but if JJ Garner wouldn't have got hurt there in that Garrison game, I know the Ganado game wasn't there, but I mean he would have just made it even more spectacular to watch. It would have just been another great athlete on the field out there, just contributing to what they were already doing very impressively. It was just awesome to watch, man. It was just so great to watch.
I know it was relaxing to watch. It wasn't stressful.
Yeah.
As far as the games go. Now the next one on our list was a 3A game, Malakoff and Franklin. And of all the games, I wasn't, obviously I had a lot more confidence in a couple of games. This one was iffy just because of how good Franklin's been. My main concern with Franklin and also the Belleville team, could they run their offense from behind? If they got behind and they had to throw the ball at the end of the game, could they do that? And I was surprised at the score of this game, the Malakoff-Franklin game. I thought it'd be a lot more high scoring. I thought it may be 35-28 but the defensive battle, it was defensive, but it was a good, hard fought battle. Very entertaining game. As hey Corey, what was the guy's name that was the quarterback that was the MVP?
Who?
Yeah, who was it?
It was Mike Jones.
Who?
Mike Jones.
Oh, Mike Jones. Okay.
Mike Jones, yeah.
Yeah, Mike
And
Jones.
you know what grade Mike Jones is in?
I really don't know.
He's a junior, Corey. Yeah. Mike Jones is gonna be
He's
back.
junior.
So I mean,
back then they didn't want him. Now he's hot. They all know. That's...
But I was impressed by the defense of Malakoff to just pretty much shut down a Franklin offense that had really been putting it to people in the playoffs.
Because that's what I thought. Franklin's been scoring more points than anybody in 3A. That's what I thought.
Yeah, I what Malakoff was what they've won. I think they may have lost maybe 3 or 4 games over the past 3 years or something like that. And I mean, they've just been dominant throughout those years, and they're finally winning another state title. And then of course they went undefeated. That's another notch on the belt. Like, I mean, they finally got over the hump, and once they got over the hump, man, they didn't relinquish anything. And I thought if they could finally get past Brock and then make it to the state, I think they kind of figured this was going to be it. You know what I'm saying? They've placed him before, they've knocked him out, and like if you can get over, because clearly this region was one of the toughest ones, right? And that it was competitive for him, of course. But I figured Malakoff was gonna make it, and that's what they did. Like I said, I'm happy for him. It's one of those cultivations that just they've been here before. They've tried to get to that pinnacle. They finally got there, and they seized the moment. And that's what you want as a football program doing that.
Yeah, that was a great win for them and their program, and very historic too. Yeah, like I said, I read up on that afterwards, and I think it was, like I said, it was their first, and for them to keep Franklin's offense down like they did, that's what really impressed me the most. So, but yeah, that was a really good win by Malakoff right there.
So
I didn't get a chance to see that game all that much. I can't remember what I was doing, but I was out and about. But I didn't get a chance to finish that game. I think we were doing a basketball tournament, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, you were doing some. No, that wasn't basketball
We were
tournament.
doing something. No, that wasn't a basketball tournament. We were doing something. I can't remember what I was doing, but I wasn't at home to watch the game. So,
all right. Next game up on the schedule, in order, I guess we'll go with the Chapel Hill Anna game, the one that I was on the call with. Me and Keith were, and man, it was not what I expected. I mean, Anna they were big, they were athletic, they were deep, they were rotating guys in on defense. Their defense impressed me. That linebacker, I think it was CJ Miller. He was everywhere. I think there was maybe 2 or 3 of him on the field. Seemed like every time Chapel Hill tried to run something, he was there. Man, the way this game started, I mean, Anna gets the ball first possession. They just kind of methodically chip away. They take what Chapel Hill gives them, dink and dump. They just, quick pass out to the receiver, almost like a run, run up the middle, just picking up 3-4 yards at a time. Smart play calling all the way down. They score. Chapel Hill gets the ball, and then just nowhere. And from then on, it was a field position struggle for Chapel Hill. They seemed to be inside their own 20 more than anywhere else, and they couldn't go forward. So then when they punted, it gave Anna great field position. So Anna was able to get 26 points in the first half. You had a punt return that for Anna inside the 5. They punched that in. A safety where they punted or snapped the ball over Trevor Brooks's head, gave him 2 points there. And then the other possession was a short field. So I think if you go back and look at the total yards of this game, like it's pretty even. Now, Chapel Hill's first half yards were limited. They finally moved the ball in the second half, but they just couldn't get over the hump, and his defense was just to the task. The offense just wasn't clicking. A lot of drop passes that would have moved the sticks for Chapel Hill. I tipped their hat. They kept Stewart and Brisbane at bay for most of the game. And it's just one of those, you tip your hat to the other team. That day they were better. I don't know if Chapel Hill plays better, who knows? But they came out to play, and they picked up their first state championship as Anna. So it was a good moment for them. It was tough to call just because I felt like that Chapel Hill didn't play their best. They'd been really playing well over the last 2 or 3 weeks, and the offense just kind of put them in bad spots. I mean, and I talked about it with Coach McFarland and the defensive coordinator. Defense didn't play bad. Like, they played well. Offense put them in bad spots, and it was just tough. Besides that one drive, the rest of that was just tough.
Yeah, I just think that Chapel Hill, I was expecting to get their running game going a little bit better. If they would have got that going, do you think maybe they would have had a little bit out there? The first half, they just, like you said, they were so far down in their own end most of the time that and they couldn't. I was waiting for them to get that running game plugging. It just seemed like they never could really get that working.
Yeah, there was a couple of passes I thought that were catchable that would have been drive extenders that weren't caught, and it just one of those things. They were stopping the run game. I'd kind of done a little bit of looking back, and people had success against Anna throwing the football, and it was there on occasions. But if you can't catch the ball when it hits you in the hands, sometimes, not your day. So I mean, I know Corey will probably have more to say about this, but that was a big difference to me. If you're running the middle, run the football, you've got to be able to pass the ball a little bit to open some things up.
Yeah, I felt like, just take that out of the game. I thought for a brief moment, I just kind of thought the stage was a little too big at the moment for him, and that's what it felt like. It was nothing to the game. I mean, plays you would normally make, they just didn't make. God, I don't remember. I mean, Kelly couldn't catch a pass in the first half, and I felt bad for him because it's hitting him in the hands. And I'm gonna say this because there's a stigma. Oh, Brisbane, what if happens if Brisbane has to throw the football? Okay, you can disrespect him if you want to. He's not a pocket quarterback, but listen, coaches aren't stupid. They can design ways to get the quarterback to his advantage. If he's a rollout quarterback, he likes to run, throw. They can do that. They're not crazy. They're not going to open up the full playbook for everybody. Why would you do that? Just because you hadn't seen him pass, doesn't mean he can't pass. And now, how stupid is that? So we will see what kind of passer. He's not a pocket passer. Like that's not his mo. So did they have to throw the football? They did. And when you had to throw the football, he was making the throws. I mean, were they perfect? No, but were they catchable? Absolutely. And to this instance, sometimes you had to pass to open up the run, right? You spread the field a little bit, that opened up a lot more lanes. That didn't work. So now we never go back to run the football. So so it was a lot of different things that I felt that just didn't work offensively. And then of course we're talking about 16, 17, 18-year-old kids. And there's one brief moment I remember. It was a media timeout, and it was long. And it was right after Anna scored the first touchdown. The offense was on the field ready to receive the ball. It was like 5 or 6 minutes. It was nothing. They were already in place. I'm like, at that moment, I was like, they lost it. Because then again, you sit there and look, and you start looking up. Then you got a big screen. You got the big screen TV. You got 10,000 people on this side, 10,000 people on this side. You got fans. You got media. You're gone after that. And then you start looking. It's like, man, now all of a sudden everything slows down. And it's like, what do you do? I just felt at that point, I'm like, I don't know, how do you regain it? And of course, they played better the second half, like I figured they would. They just couldn't get anything going, and I feel for him. Of course, this is the wrong time. You played lights out in the playoffs. Like, that was probably the best football I've seen them play all year. And defensively, they flew around and made plays. They kept teams that was averaging 40, almost 50 points a game to half their average, and that's impressive. Oh, they don't play good enough defense. Well, they only gave up almost 20 points a game in the playoffs. Maybe less than that. 17, almost 18 points a game in the playoffs. Oh, you can't play defense. Nah, you play defense. And then when they want to, when they need to. This game, well, Anna didn't score in the second half. Yeah, they didn't. But we couldn't score either. It just felt like if we could have gotten in the end zone at least once, that would have broke the game over for them. Just in the Brisbane fumble, he's finally got a break and he fumbles the football. I'm like, it's just everything that could go wrong went wrong. And I felt unfortunate. And then, of course, when you're at the stage like that, every mistake means more, because you don't get another chance. That's it. Like, I'm not going to give you enough. And then Anna, like I said, everything was perfect. Anna came back in the second half. Was like, listen, we're not in a rush. We're just going to run the football. Whatever we'll get a first down and take 30 seconds, 25 seconds off the clock. Try to get another first down. That's what they're going to do.
Away. They're playing keep away.
Yeah, it's like, so, like I said, it's tough. It really was. I feel bad for those kids. Obviously, we know it was a better version of that game that should be played, and of course, you got the human nature of people, and they got social media. Oh, I don't think Chapel should have been there. Like, dude, that was the wrong time to say that, because now you got people being upset. Like, how would you, like, this is a state championship game. Like, everybody here is good. Like, there's nobody here that was 8-7, at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody here is good. Everybody here has 13, almost. It was more of undefeated teams that were there and lost their first game. Like, come on. So it was tough for those kids, man. I hate that for them, but nonetheless, man, I just that was one of the toughest games. Everybody picked East Texas I picked the East Texas sweep,
Yep.
and I was going for it, but it just didn't happen that way.
Yeah, it is unfortunate that they said they didn't deserve to be there, because they did deserve to be there. It's one of those times. See, it's the movie Any Given Sunday. It can happen. You have your bad games, and it just happened that day. It was just the crap rolled down the wrong hill for Chapel Hill, and it just didn't work out for them. That sucked, because they're a good football team. They deserve to be there more than what anybody said. And if you didn't deserve to be there, you wouldn't be there. But Anna just had the breaks go their way, and then Chapel Hill just had the breaks, and just unfortunately just was a bad day of ball for them. It was unfortunate.
Yep.
Sometimes you get lucky.
Well, I will say that we got to stay. Of course, there was a game after ours, and there wasn't anybody in the booth, so we decided to stick around. And it was one of the better games of the weekend, as Gilmer beats Belleville by 28-26. Larry, how does it feel down there in the center area to know that you lost to the state champs? Does it make it feel any better?
Yeah, it does actually. We heard from a lot of people that it sure does make us feel better. We lost to the state champs there in the Buckeyes, and I was surprised, that they played well enough. I knew they would beat Belleville. I didn't think Belleville was as good as they were, and I just knew that Gilmer was tough this year. But yeah, it was good to know that hey, if we're gonna lose, and for them to beat Carthage, nothing against Carthage, that was a big accomplishment there too, and to go on and win the championship by that's pretty awesome there. And it takes a little bit off of us here at center.
Yeah, well, I kind of, in watching the game, and I said before the game, same thing I was talking about with Malakoff Franklin. I thought if Gilmer could get ahead and force Belleville out of their comfort zone, like they still had to run it, but like coming from behind was not their forte. Like they don't run, they're not moving very fast. They're just running the ball, huddling up, running the ball. I thought that would be a problem. But little did I know, like Will Henderson, that guy, like I knew he was fast, but he was a man among boys in that game. Like he was running over tacklers. I mean, he was playing out of his mind. And that last drive to seal it, I don't know if you guys saw that run he did. He came down the sideline, or he broke it out. I thought he was dead. I thought he was dead to rights. They went for it. Fourth down, they had to get it to seal the game. And he like ran over 2 or 3 guys and just willed himself to get the first down. Incredible possession.
Yeah, I saw it. I saw some of that. The end of that game, I was actually watching. And I thought, first of all, congratulations, Gil. Nobody had them at all in the state championship game. If you're outside of Gilmer, I'm pretty sure they did, but not anybody outside of Gilmer. And listen, we were talking for the longest. Gilmer's having a down year. Of course, a down year. They go 7-3, 8-2, 7-3, 8-2. Like, oh, that's a down year. Like, but think about it. They lose to a state runner-up, the number 1 team in the state for pretty much all season, and then the other number 1 team, the top 5 team, the only 3 losses came to state-ranked teams, and pretty much dominated Class 4 for I don't know how many weeks. Oh, we'll take. Yeah, you can't tell me that they weren't ready. Okay, yeah, they were ready to play. Absolutely.
When they were playing for the young man's mother that was killed too. So we talk about motivation all the time, but it was cool to see they had the shirts made for me. It was number 13. I can't think of his name off the top of my head, but they had shirts with a scripture verse, and so it was really cool that they were able to. That's a storybook ending for that young. I mean, go through all that he went through this football season, mother being killed, and to come out and being able to play football this long and win a state championship is awesome.
Yeah, it is.
So now I have to think. I mean, because I was saying this, I said, well, I wouldn't want to play Gilmer next year. That's what I kept saying. I think they were going to be better next year than they were this year. And with their year ahead of what they would project them, they could go back to back. you come and think of it, I thought because they got some young guys that play big minutes on that team. I know they had a lot of seniors, but they had a lot of guys on that team already. And I thought they had some young guys at some key positions, especially the offensive line was young. And everything starts from the inside out. And I thought the offensive line was pretty good already, and they got better. And so, I mean, Gilman's going to be right back to where they to being dominant, next year, of course. But it's going to be interesting. I thought, and I really wanted to say, like, man, if you look at Class 4A in East Texas, look at Class 4A across the state, and this is why I really wanted Chapel to win. Of course, not just win a championship. When you think about it, it'd be a dominant, like East Texas sweeps Class 4A. Out of the two regions, we dominated Class 4A, mainly out of East Texas. You would have Division 1 and Division 2 covered. Like, I don't care what you say. You can say, "Oh man, this region is tough." From 4A, 3A. If you consider Malakoff a part of East Texas, which I do, they're not deep East Texas. They're right on. I mean, they're on the edge of edges. But they got East Texas schools that they play, right? So you're playing about, you playing those teams. Yeah, it's tough. 3A down to 2A. East Texas is always going to be good in those classifications. So, and 4A is rough. So if you now you got to think you got a reclassification, teams are dropping down. I'm like, I wouldn't want to. I just keep me in 5A. I don't know if I want to drop down to Class 4A in one of those districts. Like that's rough, man. That is rough. Lindell's like, maybe it was okay for us to stay in 5A. Now, y'all did well, but
Hey,
it's rough.
Guess who's coming to 4A? Shine Tree.
Well, per rumors, Pine Tree.
Well, it is. It's already official. The numbers are already out, and we'll use this opportunity to say that we're going to do a realignment show at some point here in the next few months. So keep an eye out for that. We'll go down through the East Texas districts and see who goes where and all that kind of fun stuff. So we'll be doing that at some point. Guys, just looking at the other games now that we've kind of wrapped up the East Texas ones. There was a lot of interesting games, some blowouts and some really good ones. DeSoto I don't know.
I can't believe they blew out North Shore like that.
No, they was humble. It was Humble Summer Creek.
Summer Creek, yeah.
74-14 in a state championship.
Yeah.
The disrespect, Corey. That's what I would say there. That's did y'all see the picture of the DeSoto lineman with? I know y'all had.
Dude is huge, man.
My gosh. He he's so big. That picture went viral. Like, he's probably getting offers from everywhere now. Like, if he wasn't getting offers before,
he is now.
He's for sure. Yeah.
You'd be dumb not to offer. As soon as I saw him in practice, oh yeah, it's going off. All you had to do was line up. Go ride right now. Doesn't even matter. We'll take you as you are.
You had Duncanville also got the win. They played North Shore later. That's the one.
Yeah, that's it.
49-33. The shocker of Saturday was Sock going down to PNG, and I, there's a lot of controversy out there about the officials. They talked about the call in the end zone, the pass interference. Supposedly the guys from PNG, one of the referees. Did y'all see that?
Did see that.
Yeah, I saw that.
Then the Dallas, I think the school's filing some kind of order or something. I don't know how that works, but it's not going to change the outcome of the game. But I saw this, and this is kind of something that I read. It's about someone brought up the idea of bringing in college officials for the state championship games. What do you guys think about that?
It's not necessary.
Well,
I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah, and that's what I thought too. Was like, that's what these championship games are for the officials, just like in the NFL. The better you do through the season, and aren't both sets officials picked by the coaches? I think, isn't that part of that too?
I don't know if the state ones they are, and I think they're agreed on in the other rounds. I don't know. I think they're like they maybe just be random. A lot of times they're not supposed to be from the same area as either team. They try not to be, I think. But I mean, I think the part that they were upset at is that wasn't disclosed when they agreed on the officials. Like that's like saying, hey, Corey, we're gonna go over. We're gonna play the state championship against Lindale, and we got 5 Lindale officials. I don't know that I want that crew doing the game if we're playing Lindale for a state championship. So, I mean, I get it. Like, I mean, the calls is a separate thing. Like, there was pictures of him holding, and I saw somebody posted. You watched the video live; it didn't look like much. I mean, it's hard to.
Flag came late.
Yeah, I mean, it was late. I mean, it's just you hate that it came down to that. I know that kind of that's what they're talking about of that game now, instead of how great those two teams that game was. They're talking about the officials. I don't like that. I don't like that the officials are kind of taking the spotlight away from how really a good game it was.
I mean, you got to think about it though. PNG's. You got to know PNG's gonna play tough. They're always tough. And miraculously, you remember PNG was Class 3A when their prominence got started. Like they were really, really good. And of course, you move up now, you Class 5A. But no, was it a pass interference or a holding? No matter what, it was still going to be a first down. Yeah, it was. A kid had his jersey. This is the part that I don't like, right? When you see the penalty, when you see the infraction, throw the flag. Don't wait. Because if you would have saw it then, throw the flag. Now you waited until the pass was dropped or the pass was deflected, then you throw the flag. That makes it look worse, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the bad thing about it. And then, of course, you got instant replay. You can't replay a penalty, right? So that's the hard part. So
not yet.
Now it's like it's double bad. No, guys,
do you have a challenge where you could challenge a penalty late in the game like that?
I would definitely do it. If it's in high school. Now that's the only logical thing that they could do. Don't change officials. You give the final coaches. But then again, like I'm going to propose this again. Class 5A and 6A, they have instant replays and they have challenges, and they incorporate that throughout the year. That the games are going to be longer, or you just say, hey, we'll move the game up an hour, or move the game up 30 minutes, or start playing like they don't want to do. Start playing on Saturdays, and change it up. Something's got to happen. I hate that for those kids, and then you got because it makes it look like, oh, PNG cheated. No, they didn't cheat. There was a penalty on the play. Just threw the flag late. Hate that. Gosh, I hate it. And it looked bad. It looks very bad. That guy's from PNG. That makes it look double worse. But was it an infraction on the play? Yes, it was. And he didn't call it when it was. I hate that because now it towards controversy, but at the same time, what can you do at this point, right? You can't challenge it. It was an infraction, it just happened late, and the referee threw the flag late, and that's what happened. So now you have to deal with this all again. You know what? Just as they say, the ball don't lie. You want to do something about it? Play him again next year at the neutral site for pregame. For him again, neutral site pregame. Just end it at that. That's all you got to do. You beat him, you don't get trophy for it. That's fine. PNG got a state championship. Let's move on, man. It sucks. That's the side of the ball roll. I hate it, but what can you do?
Yeah, and bringing in the college referees, I don't know if that would make it any better too, because I think it was somebody, I was on one of the other pages, and I said, does it really make a difference, because people are still going to find a reason to complain anyway. So there's always a way to put it in there. And and like I said, it was unfortunate the way it went down and how it came out, because I'm with you, because it was a late. But even if they would have done it on replay, they would have saw that it would have been a holding or a pass interference call there too. But yeah, you're right. It did make it look bad because of the lateness of it. And, I don't know what you do. Do you make sure that if it's a Houston and Dallas team, do you have a refereeing crew from Weatherford or, from down around Victoria or something like that? Just something totally away.
It's the problem you run into.
Be hard to do something like that.
Yeah, because you have so many teams from the same area. So like, right. How many teams were from the Dallas-Fort Worth area in the state games? A lot, like, right?
Almost
so
all of them,
yeah. So I mean, Dallas has probably got a pretty good chunk of referee crews. So then they just don't get games because they would never get an opportunity to do. So it's hard. I
Right.
mean, it's very hard to try to figure that out because if you are going to stay with the guys, and I brought that up. I didn't agree with that. I just saw it somewhere.
Right.
I
Yeah,
like getting. I'm with you guys. I like having the high school referees get rewarded because that's like they're like kind of like us, Larry. We got picked to do the game at Texas State. It's kind of an honor type thing. We got to go do the radio deal. It was cool. You know, that's their Super Bowl per se of
right.
their season. They do well enough. That's the goal to try to get a game in the state championships. So I do like it. I'm a proponent of let's give them give them a challenge, and they can challenge some other calls besides the ones they're already replaying. And let's just try it and do it in state only for maybe a year or two, see how it goes, and then maybe it trickles down at some of the bigger schools, kind of like Corey was talking about. Some of the bigger schools do it and see if it trickles down because obviously the technology you have to have, you know, you're not going to be able to do that in some of the smaller schools right away, and unless you do some kind of grant or something like that. But to try it out in the bigger schools, see, then maybe maybe it's a playoff requirement for a stadium. You have to have that technology to host a playoff game, and then maybe that's where you do it. But I like the ability for a coach to be able to throw a challenge flag. Hey, no, that wasn't a late hit out of bounds, or no, he didn't step out here, or like challenge calls that aren't automatically challenged are automatically looked at. And then if they don't get it,
one per half.
yeah, if they don't get it, they lose a timeout, just like in the other leagues. I
And the
think
crazy thing too is it's a state championship game. You know, Bally's is showing that, and you know the biggest screen in the NFL, they're showing the replay up there. But you figure that the refs would be able to see it because the crowd's going to see it and everybody else is seeing it. So I think I'm with you. At least in state championship games or playoff games, and if we're talking about things that are required for stadiums, make sure they know who the NFHS is. That would be one thing that makes a requirement that we need to make sure of.
Yeah, that's true.
We did mention this before. Maybe we could revisit it. You think UIL could possibly have like a championship site and have like for the game, like instead of it being in Jerry World every single year, but they'd like develop like in Central Texas or somewhere is central, that build like a championship campus. You know what I'm saying? Where it seats, it may seat 25,000 people. You know what I'm saying? And it's not as big as Jerry World, but it's big enough to host everybody. That way, it's not centralized. You know what I'm saying? Because you got all of Dallas there. Well, if you make it all Dallas, yeah, that's true. But if you're central, it's like kind of centrally located. I don't know. I like the fact of it being them just creating a whole championship site where the championship games going to be here.
If you do a dome too, you could actually have it like
definitely be a dome.
Basketball. You could do any sport in there.
Yeah, I wouldn't want it to put. Yeah, you could do that. I wouldn't want. I'd rather put like basketball separate.
You wouldn't have to have two facilities though. If you need to start out, you could have it where it could house your basketball as well, Corey. And then so you have basketball in there. You have football. Heck, you could even make it configured where you could possibly do baseball in there. Like make it a multi-purpose facility. I mean, yeah.
No, I wouldn't do baseball indoor.
Well, we played.
I know it's hot.
Or the World Series is playing indoors too. I mean, I don't know. I just like if you're going to do a place instead of having to do like a field for this and it just sits there, year round. I mean,
but see, here's the other thing too. It would definitely sit year round. That's why I said I would probably do a dome for this and a football stadium for that, because that way you could have neutral site games being played there already. So if other teams wanted to play high school football games there, they could still play them. So not for playoffs, but like neutral site games. You know what I'm saying? So if PNG wanted to play South Oak Cliff again, they didn't figure out a place. You guys can.
So you want to have a classic there,
or maybe something that's like one of the places where you get like a DeSoto playing like Del Mar, or whatever it is, out of California or something like that.
Right. You don't just necessarily play at home, but you play. It seats 30,000 people.
Right.
You have a 30,000 seat stadium. It's new. You have basketball and football there. It's good. I like the idea. You can do football and basketball there. It's big enough. Parking's there, and blah 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 blah. All other stuff. So it's not a madhouse getting in and out. It's not Also, it's just there. You know,
Right.
the facility's there. You know what it's like. I don't think that's a bad idea. Will
I
it
don't
cost
think
a lot
it's
of
a bad
money?
idea either because it's not like Texas doesn't know how to build stadiums around here for their schools, and not like
Absolutely.
UIL ain't
I
making
know,
it
Jared. Yeah, right, right. So it's like I don't know how they would propose to do that way. You don't have to. Well, we're having a bid to do it here. We're having a bid. We don't have to
Well,
do it there.
and the
We have our own place.
parking for $25 is a little outrageous. I know
That's
you guys, we all got passes for that, which was nice, but the parking like $25 a pop, like man, that's
And $20 tickets. And
$20
then
tickets. Yeah,
parking's more than the ticket.
parking and parking was more than tickets. And then there's other you can do tailgating. There's then the schools can have their own broadcasts. I don't know. I just think it's a lot of different things that they could possibly do. Baseball's there, swimming's there, wrestling, and it's all held at like a UIL type campus. And then whatever they do, like the broadcast stuff, you got all kind of stuff you could do. Hotels are all stayed right there close by. I mean, just make it like a big campus. You know what I'm saying? Where everything is right there. I think that's a nice way to put it and centralize, and that
The
way
Corey,
nobody's over
Corey
because
Marshall UIL facility.
yeah, you are the UIL championship. I don't know what it is.
Oh, we name
You
it.
can do whatever you want to call it.
You're
in
gonna donate
Oklahoma,
the land for it. You're gonna donate the land for it, and it's gonna be your facility. The Corey Marshall. That
All
could
this
be your
land
new
in
job.
Texas, you can put it somewhere. Put it somewhere. All this land
like
in
in
Texas, put it somewhere.
in Oklahoma and Oklahoma City, they host the basketball and the wrestling championships in Oklahoma City, and it's right there centralized, and they call it the Big House. And it's just a big old. That's what they call it. So it's like the Big House. That's where everybody wants to go. Congratulations, basketball!
You
made
can call it the ranch.
House. Yeah,
yeah. You made it. You made it to the ranch in Texas. There we go. We at the ranch.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, we talked a little bit about basketball as we're kind of going to wrap up with a couple of topics here. We're kind of rolling through basketball. Larry, tell us where you've been over the last week. So you've been doing a game of the week for us this year. Excited to have you aboard to do some hoops with us. And you guys are taking a little bit of break like we are, but you've done what, 3 or 4 games already?
Yeah, I think so. I've lost count. It's been so crazy, but yeah, let's see. We went to West Sabine for Shelbyville West Sabine, and then we were at Nacogdoches for Center Nacogdoches girls, and then the other day or Monday it was an early game to wrap up the rest of it for or some of the season, the first part of the regular season for a couple teams of Martinsville and St. Augustine. So it's been really, really good so far. We've covered some Shelbyville games, St. Augustine. We've got some Torino games coming up too. We're hoping to get Broadus in there as well. But those teams have all kind of jumped in. They're really excited to be a part of what we're doing, and I'm looking forward to. I was hoping to just do like a Tuesday game or a Friday game of the week, but we're starting to get so many that went in on it, so I could do some center games with the guys. But we're starting to get so many, I may just be doing games a week, Tuesday and Friday for we may be in Torino one night, and we may be back in Shelbyville the next on Friday.
That's a good problem to have, though. That's a good.
Yeah, it is.
They're liking what we got going on down there. We appreciate you. I mean, Corey, this guy. Can you? Okay, so Corey was our one-man crew for our tournament there. I left him there. Right. I went to do the Chapel Hill game, so he kind of feels your pain, except for the fact he had the camera robot going. So Larry does the camera, runs all the stuff, and does the broadcast all at one time, Corey.
And the stats.
Shut up. Like, hey, let's listen.
It's not easy, man.
If y'all listening, y'all paying attention tonight, man. If you ever call a game, like, I don't care how good you think you are. If you can run a camera, call the game, and take stats, you can drive and brush your teeth and eat breakfast at the same time. You can
I don't know
it
if
all.
I can do that though, man. I don't know if I want to try that.
You can do it all. Like that's awesome. That's hella talented right there. I don't think I can't push buttons on the laptop and do stats and talk basketball at the same time. I'm too busy watching other stuff. That's pretty good.
Well, see, Larry, I had him all enthralled in our. We're testing out some new software, like you saw, for our scoreboard stuff, and Corey was all trying to figure all that out and talk last night. So I had him extra stimulated last night. His brain was working 90 miles an hour trying to.
Right.
We had our keys to the game on the screen, and we had we're looking at stats so
It was cool
it
for
was
a little while. And
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
watching it, and I liked especially the score bug. And then I saw it was like the halftime stat graphic out there. That was cool, man. I was like, dude, that's nice.
yeah, I think it's to stick around. I like it.
Corey's gonna have to
like the stats.
he's gonna have to hire a personal assistant though to help him run that stuff, I think.
Right. Well, I tell you what, if I could get that auto camera, I'd be doing real good.
Yeah. Hey, Shires has it now. He bought one of my auto cameras, so he has it. It's just a matter of maybe some training time to get it set up.
Fix up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not hard. But
Technology's tough. You gotta learn.
Yeah, it is.
That thing is nice.
Well, Brett helped me out because I was just keeping the score, but I wasn't able to keep the times or nothing, so I just changed it. But he took all that stuff off there, helped out with my scoreboard. So I just kind of keep up my scoreboard there and a little minimize the other side with my mouse up in there, and then the camera one's is other, and then I keep 3 pointers, free throws, and points. But if I got somebody that can run my camera, I'll stick in the rebounds and assists and everything in there too. But I know, man, it's hard to get all of that in there while you're doing it.
You got to talk and then try to remember to move the camera.
Yeah, sometimes you get to watching the game and you're like, oh, wait a minute. But I like that we got the new the update on the OBS, because now there's a bigger screen for me so I can watch it a lot better, and it makes it easier for me to run the camera and do it at the same time. So, I've done it before many times. I had a new tech that I used to just switch 2 cameras with the stuff in there. So, but I mean, I'd rather have some help, but I know what you mean.
Sounds like you need an intern. Sounds like you need an intern there, Larry. The camera intern. So we can see if we can get you one down there from.
Right.
Surely somebody from the school or something would like to make a little extra cash there to help you out.
You would think. I don't know. We're always checking it out and looking to see, and I'm gonna see if I can find something like that. But I love doing it, and I love calling basketball. I get really excited, and sometimes I still get the radio thing on me. Even though I'm on the video, I'm still trying to do the radio thing where I'm calling a little bit more action than I need to, and I've been trying to back out of that a little bit. But watching my game over and over again, which is what helps when I'm here, helps me do that to where I'm not just talking all the time. So it makes it a little better.
Well, yeah, it's hard to do, especially when you're by yourself. And Corey can attest, because when it's me and him, we can talk hoops a little bit. But when you are by yourself, if you're not calling the game, you're kind of just you kind of have to call more, just because you're not having anybody to throw things off of. So I kind of gave him a hard time, because when he was doing it by himself, he got to where he was calling, the pass back and forth stuff too. It's just hard when you don't have anybody else to bounce things off of. So
yeah. Well, sometimes I just turn around and I get with the crowd saying, "Hey, that's it."
But I had to go in my bag. I had to go in my bag. It's like I got to change my voice, start doing this and saying this and do this, and I got to remember I don't want to talk entirely too much and have not people, watch the game, because I like to watch the game and not, it's not radio. Like you could see it.
Right.
I had to remember, it's like, it's not radio. You can see what's happening. I don't have to tell you where the pass passed back to him, and I don't have to do all that. Just I'll let you know who scored, and I'll let you know there was a good pass, bad shot, checking in, stuff like that. Just keep it simple. It doesn't have to be a play-by-play. Since it's live, it doesn't have to be. So I have to remind myself, I don't have to do a play-by-play. They're watching it. Don't give them a play-by-play.
Giving them the highlights of it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Just tell them, it was a 3-point basket. That's good. Blah, 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 blah. It was passed by blah, 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 rebounded by the, just tell them a number. Maybe they can't see the number. I don't know. Yeah. Play by play.
We got our basketball actions kind of toned down for a few weeks as we kind of take the holiday break. That Shires guy's taking a vacation. What a slacker.
He's a slacker.
I mean,
vacation.
Yeah. He's trying to get over being sick again. That guy just can't, like, their whole crew just can't stay get through COVID. Now they got the flu, I think.
Yeah, I'm staying away from those guys, man.
I know. Well, it's awesome. We got a lot of hoops coming up on our side. We're going to be covering the teams like Lindale. We're going to do some more Mount Pleasant, I believe. We've got ARP, Brook Hill, Frankston, the Pointer, Martins Mill. So a lot of teams up here. I'm sure I'm missing a few. Corey, did I miss anybody off of that list?
I think that was it.
Kyle's going to be doing some games with us. He's going to try to grab some the Mount Pleasant, Chapel Hill, maybe Mount Pleasant, Lindale, some of those teams. So just kind of keep your eye out for games. I'll be working on doing that'll be part of my time off over the break, is working on getting some games up on the YouTube channel, getting ready for January and February. And also just to drop a little hint, we've got some new features coming in our app that we're testing in beta. I'm not going to tell you what they are at this point, but kind of keep your eye out, as we're going to be testing those here over the next few weeks or months, and we'll be coming out with some new things on the app. I think that you're going to like it a lot, and just never know what's going to hop on the app. So if you don't have our app, make sure you go download it, NETSN, on your Android or Apple devices. Guys, as we close out, anything that you've got that you want to let everybody know about?
Gord?
Everybody.
No, man.
Hey.
Go ahead.
No, I don't have anything. I'm an open book at this point. I don't have anything.
Me either. Just want to say, hey, Merry Christmas, and thanks a lot, guys. I tell you what, it's been a lot of fun to be part of the NETSN crew, and two, congratulations, we got 3,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel. That's a big deal.
And just
so
over.
Keep coming on with that, and we're gonna keep growing this and doing more games in Northeast Texas. We'll make them proud, and proud to be a part of it, man. Having a lot of fun.
Awesome, man. We appreciate you guys. I know we don't get to cross over much. It did get to call the one game with you, but we're gonna try to do a little more of that if we can. I was talking to Shires today, and I like to come down and do a game or two with you guys and kind of get some crossover. Bad part is I'm only one person, and I'm always needed somewhere for some reason. I know I guess something about owning a business, you have to be more than one place at a time sometimes. I don't know how it doesn't really work that well, but nonetheless, it's working pretty well. But yeah, we want to give a shout out to all our subscribers, 3,000. That's great. Keep sharing with everyone as we continue to grow and you add more schools and add more subscribers. It's a nice Christmas present for us on NETSN. We like to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, all you that are tuned in, because I think we're pretty much done with any content. You always can go back and watch anything if you missed some of the content that we've got. We got lots of it there. We got our beginning of hoop season into football, a lot of stuff on NETSN to go back and tune into. But for all the guys not here tonight, Vince, Nolaire, if you weren't here earlier, Vince welcomed his wife, welcomed their second child into the world on Monday. So he's he's on father duty, and Kyle's got 4 a.m. work, so he took the night off. So give a shout out to those guys and all the guys that joined us as our shows are coming to an end for the football season. We had Jeremy Hubbard, we had Matt Diggs came and joined us, of course, Christian Blevins. Who am I missing, Corey? Brandon Ogden. Can't think who anybody else did. I don't know if anybody else is. Oh, intern Claire and Keith came on the episode, so shout out to them. Everybody,
Spence on the show.
Yeah, Spence. Yep. And so all the people that came on and made our shows possible this football season, it was our first year to add multiple shows, and it was a very good success. And couldn't have done it without all of them and our viewers. So we'd like to thank everyone out there for watching. For all of them, for Larry and for Corey tonight, I'm Brett signing off for the 2023 football season. We'll see y'all next year, I guess. We'll talk realignment next time we are on. And everyone have a great, happy holidays and a Merry Christmas. Safe travels to everyone. Good night, everybody.
2024.
Is your demanding work lifestyle in need of fire-resistant clothing that can keep up? Well, L4FR clothing should be your go-to for quality, affordability, safety, and style. L4FR was founded by a third-generation oil field worker who is also a veteran. Thus, this company has a deep appreciation for reliability and longevity, all while we provide first-rate customer service. Our durable apparel will serve you well for many years to come, whether you're working on a pipeline, a lineman climbing utility poles, or in any other environment requiring fire-resistant apparel. L4FR has you covered. Our apparel is tough enough to resist hazardous conditions while still providing high comfort and style. L4FR provides clothing options to ensure your safety and comfort, whether you're on the job or not. To view our complete inventory of flame-resistant garments, please visit our online store at l4frclothing.com or give us a call at 817-757-4935. Si habla español.
Struggling with mobility, chronic pain, work, or sports injury? At Azalea Orthopedics, our team of highly trained physicians specialize in complete orthopedic care, pain management, sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation. If you've sustained a bone or joint injury, have mobility or movement problems, struggle with pain, contact Azalea Orthopedics. We're conveniently located across East Texas, serving 18 counties. When visiting your doctor, urgent care, or hospital, you have a choice. Demand Azalea. At Azalea Orthopedics, your health is our priority.